Hey everybody, what's up? Today I'd like to talk about BuzzFeed. I know everybody's already talked about this topic, but I want to specifically ask, what are they trying to accomplish? They've changed a lot over the past several years. Everybody knows what they're reputed for. Really bad content that doesn't really give you any value. I want to look at what is their goal? Who are they trying to talk to? What do they want them to think? What's their motivation? So we're going to look at some of their older articles and information today. We're going to look at when they started in 2006. We're going to look at why they started. We're going to look at what they're like today versus what they were like yesterday. Thanks for watching. Let's go back a decade or so. When BuzzFeed began in 2006, they didn't shy away from political or social commentary per se, but they were more reasonable about it. For instance, a post from December 25th, 2006 entitled, "Too Many Muslims." This was referring to Congressman Virgil Good's statement that America would be taken over by Muslims were policies not enforced. They responded to these statements essentially by calling him an unreasonable redneck. Well, this is a highly debatable topic, and I can understand that they might oppose his statements. It was a lot more reasonable than a lot of the things they churn out nowadays. Now let's fast forward to 2017. The homepage of BuzzFeed promotes infinite lists of useless garbage. So writing this, the most popular post is entitled, "Ian Somerhalder says he threw out Nikki Reed's birth control pills and the internet is not happy." In the words of H3H3, they are truly the McDonald's of content. This isn't news. This doesn't provide any value to our lives, nor is it entertaining, which are the two things that every journalist should have in mind when they write a piece. It's simply kindling the political fire of the consumers of BuzzFeed content. Even with the knowledge of the low-quality, poorly argued posts written in 2006, BuzzFeed's content is simply useless. They no longer provide reasonable commentary on important issues. Instead, the site is geared towards pushing clickbait, quizzes, and celebrity gossip. Again, as I said, this doesn't provide any value. It's hardly entertaining. It appeals to a crowd of people who are uninterested in their own lives, who wouldn't like to learn anything about the political atmosphere of America. Rather, they would like to read gossip and consume quizzes and other pastime activities. Yes, I'm aware of the fact that it seems like I'm criticizing people who are simply minding their own business. Well, I'm not particularly saying that they're an issue or a bad thing or that they should do something else. I do believe that it creates a sort of negative atmosphere where people are more prone to entertainment and clickbait and garbage content than high-quality posts and real news. I think that's the issue of BuzzFeed. It appeals to that crowd who would rather consume more simple entertainment and not concern themselves with educating themselves. Personally, I believe this is why leftists are particularly attracted to BuzzFeed. They don't like to do the research, they don't like the facts, rather, they prefer emotions. You can disagree with me on this if you'd like, but that's a common observation that I've made. Let's also have a look at the way their content is presented. If one was very passionate about that which they're arguing, as I am for what I'm arguing right now, they wouldn't entitle their post, "McCain't Gonna Vote For It," which is, yes, one of the #1 posts on their site right now, regarding McCain voting for the Obamacare bill. Would they name their content this if they were truly passionate about it? If they truly wanted to influence people and change minds? I don't think so. BuzzFeed is well known as a low-quality news site, the joke of the internet, essentially. So why do people still read it? What makes people enjoy this content? BuzzFeed's format is built around a light-hearted, blue-pilled generation of individuals. Every word written panders heavily to its audience. Those who concern themselves with the likes of celebrity gossip and meaningless quizzes are the same people oftentimes who will sympathize with the more progressive liberal side of things. BuzzFeed appeals to this audience, creates a sort of sense of community that tells readers, "We're all friends in here." It creates a sort of atmosphere where BuzzFeed is trusted. Everything they say is taken literally and meaningfully, and nothing is regarded as useless or possibly untrue. It's seen as simply fact, almost as a religion would be. After all, they're so quirky and fun, how could their intentions be malicious? They plaster their content in emojis and acronyms. Vocabulary is reduced to a level in which no intelligent thought is required. Images and basic, watered-down, meaningless content are truly the meaning, peak, and bread and butter of BuzzFeed's existence. The writers, often young adults, seem very capable of understanding the key demographics of BuzzFeed. According to an analysis conducted by ExpandedRamblings.com, 50% of BuzzFeed's audience is of age 18 to 34. Let's be honest for a moment. How often do you see an adult on BuzzFeed? While some content, such as quizzes, might appeal to an older, technologically curious crowd, often the crowd you would see on Facebook, the majority of content is unappealing to a mature audience. The reason for this is the simple fact that BuzzFeed does not provide value. Knowing that a Vampire Diaries actor's birth control pills were thrown out by her boyfriend does absolutely nothing for me, nor does it do anything for the people reading it. It isn't entertaining to read about, nor is the information useful. A more political piece, complete with factual information, would provide me knowledge on a topic, while a comedic piece would be entertaining. BuzzFeed seems to be in a gray zone, and a majority of their posts which touches neither of these polarities. The reason for this formula to work is due to the fact that intelligent information requires registry. This isn't particularly to imply nobody who reads BuzzFeed is intelligent. Rather, those who read it seek information that doesn't require intimate knowledge on a topic. You can compare this to an individual of completely opposite nature, one who reads well-written, quality content with little to no entertainment value. These are essentially two groups: those who concern themselves with the intricacies of information, wish to expand their knowledge, and are willing to research information and process it in order to properly consume information. Then, in polar opposition, is the BuzzFeed crowd. The crowd in which primarily concerns itself with, in my opinion, useless content which contains information on useless topics. This is the information that can be read, universally understood, and tweeted to the next consumer. It is systematically manufactured to be shared, read, consumed, and thrown away. BuzzFeed also acts as a catalyst for the controversy. More well-known networks, such as MSNBC, maybe even CNN, BuzzFeed is able to appeal to a younger demographic which is less mature and concerns itself more with useless controversies. For instance, BuzzFeed currently advertises a news article of football players reacting to Trump saying that NFL owners should fire any son of a bitch, I quote, who doesn't stand for the national anthem. This news is not worthy of a more professional news network with an older audience who doesn't concern themselves with the gossip and small squabbles. Thus, it's handed to BuzzFeed, which has been specifically developed to convey this information to people who would not disregard it as useless, silly, or petty as most others would. That is why it's so appealing to younger people, teenagers, etc. Of course, BuzzFeed is not the only medium guilty of these crimes. Anyone who uses Snapchat has likely seen the news promoted by them, specifically tailored to younger teenagers and young adults who enjoy the features of the messaging app. This is truly a cause for concern to me. The fact that so many young people are being fed news of low truth, factual bearing, and/or value is cause for concern. While the business model works very well for this demographic, it's also cause for concern. It contributes significantly to uneducated voting, which may explain why Bernie Sanders was so liked by young candidates. A majority of young people, as done by a recent study, have said that they disapprove of the model of capitalism and would prefer socialism. While you can disagree or debate this, I believe that this is significant cause for concern, and I believe that BuzzFeed and other applications of their sort are the cause of the problem.